Here are 10 things every semi-pro filmmaker should have. What's up, guys? My name is Gage Horne, and I'm here to tell you guys 10 things every semi-pro filmmaker should have. And the reason I say semi-pro is because you're trying to get over the bar of amateur, getting away from cell phones, getting away from cheap DSLRs, trying to get to very good cinematic equipment that can offer you great stuff for your clients, and if you're trying to up your YouTube game to your fans, things like that, to give and upgrade your filmmaking to the next level. First off, everything I'll be talking about will have links in the description down below. I will update them regularly because I hate when people make these videos and then they put all these links and half of them are broke and they don't update them. So if you see one that's not working, let me know, but I will check them and make sure that they are working and up to date. And also, if you guys do have a budget you're working with, or you do want to take your game to the next level, say you have some of these products or something and you want to take it to even a higher level, I will put cheaper and more expensive equipment in the description down below with the equipment of everything I'll be talking about as well. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is lights. Lights can be a very difficult thing for filmmakers when it comes to lighting, because you walk into a lot of situations not knowing what your lighting is like. And most of the times, if you can get away with the sunlight or things like that, that's great. But there will be times like at weddings when you're inside the wedding venue and you need to get close-up shots, or you're doing an interview or a commercial, things like that, where you need some lights on the go. These pair of lights are perfect. I have a pair of newer lights that are cordless and easily travelable, where you can take them anywhere you need to go for any kind of shoot at any time. I also use these lights for my YouTube videos because it gives me great lighting alongside my window, but it also gives me a nice soft light for my face. They come with the bag, they come with tripods, they come with, of course, the lights, but the other great thing is that they're cordless. They don't have any cords, they don't require a plug-in. I can just set them down, turn them on, pop out the tripod, and I'm good to go. And they also come with filters and diffusers as well. So this is just a huge, great bundle, and it is perfect for a very good general variety of use to offer for your clients, but for me, that I can offer for my YouTube videos and for whatever else you may be doing with your filmmaking as well. But moving away from lights, let's jump into audio. So for my audio, I actually have this guy that's just planted right there out of frame, and it's the H1N handy recorder. It actually has a lav input, so I can put a lav mic, say like a groom or a client or something like that when they're getting interviewed, so I can just plug it into this, put it in their back pocket, run a lav, and get great clean audio. It's also incredibly cheap. The plastic feel that when you first feel it, you're like, oh, this is gonna break. I've had this for about 7 months, haven't broken it, but I also always have a audio attached to my camera, and it's a cheap Rode mic that I'll also offer. This is the cheaper version, but that one I always have for backup in case this dies or something goes wrong. But the worst things about shotgun mics, and I'll show you with the audio now, the audio now is coming from the shotgun mic, and the reason it sounds a little bit weird and a little bit kind of bad is because there's too much distance between me and the shotgun mic. As for this mic, I can set it up on a tripod or just put it on a chair, set it right there where it's directly in front of my mouth, and it's just barely outside the camera frame, so I can get good crisp audio straight to that. But it's always good to have some backup audio in case things go wrong. Going on to the next big thing, this one is huge. This is the thing that literally separates amateur from professional almost immediately. If you're looking for someone to hire to be your filmmaker for a wedding, or you're looking for a commercial or things like that, and you obviously need some kind of movement footage, you will see the difference between an amateur and a professional. Amateurs do not have a way of stabilization. They hold their cameras, they move them, or they're always on a tripod so you can just get simple, steady shots. Things like that are just not great. Movement in your video production is always the greatest thing separating you from amateurs. Something I found that is just absolutely incredible when it comes to stabilization is the GlideCam HD 2000. I love this GlideCam because it has nothing to do with electronics, it has no batteries, no power, no nothing. It is just based on weight and gravity. So it takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to pull my camera out of my bag, attach it to the stabilizer, balance it, and I'm good to go. It's extremely durable. I've dropped this thing so many times. I had it for so long, and it's just been held up in great quality the entire time. And another great thing about this stabilizer is it's super comfy to hold. If I need to get a good steady shot, instead of taking it off, putting it on a tripod, things like that, I could just tuck it into my waist and hold it and get a nice good steady shot. So I would highly recommend the GlideCam HD 2000 specifically because of the many uses it gives, but to give you guys a nice clean movement for your footage and upping your game, getting out of the amateur category and offering something great to YouTube and offering something great to your client. Now, let's talk about something that's kind of important. The camera. Now, there is a conversation about Nikon being for photography and Canon for video people. Around my area, I see a lot of people use those kind of two things. It's kind of just how they're categorized. It's okay to choose your brand of camera, Canon or Nikon, or if you want to go with Sony or anything else, that's your choice of video. That is totally fine. But the biggest and most important part, there are specs that you need to have inside of your camera that are just a necessity for professional filmmaking. Now, I will list some of these specs on screen so you guys can see, like, look for these things at the very least when you're looking for cameras and filmmaking and upping your game in whatever brand you want. But the camera I'm going to be talking about and offering is the Canon 5D Mark IV. It also shoots 4K, and you can shoot 4K at 30 frames per second or, of course, the average of 24 frames per second. But another big thing to look for is having a half frame camera and a full frame camera. Full frame cameras are a necessity, especially when you are shooting things like weddings and commercials, because you will have a lot of low light situations where half frame cameras where you have to bump up the ISO and it makes your footage look all grainy, compared to a full frame camera where you can shoot and with a very low ISO and get a lot of that light in to have a great clean look in your filmmaking. So again, I'll put all the specs again right here for you to kind of peek at and see. This is the stuff that you want inside of your camera. No matter what brand or what you get, look for these specs at the least to get out of the amateur category and offer professional video for your clients and for your YouTube fans or whatever you're using your filmmaking for. Now let's go to the next one, and this one is huge. This is the one that a lot of people struggle with and have a hard time finding when they are starting their filmmaking and getting out of the amateur category and looking to widen their opportunities and stuff like that with the gear that they have. The camera lens. Now, the camera lens can be very expensive, especially what you're looking for or what you're doing. This also depends, again, on what camera you got or you are looking for, what brand, because no matter what, remember this. Whatever camera brand you get, stick with that camera brand forever. Now, let me tell you why. When you buy a camera, you start to acquire a lot of lenses for that camera. And when you're buying lenses, you want to make sure that your lenses are compatible with your camera. So if I bought 5 Canon lenses that may not necessarily work with the next big Sony camera, then I'm stuck with these thousands of dollars invested in these lenses and I have to buy all the same stuff for the Sony brand. So again, I chose the Canon 5D Mark IV. I chose a bunch of lenses that are Canon, the L series, all the good L series. That way, when I have my Canon and I keep upgrading my Canon cameras, I have all these lenses that I can just put on my new camera. Now, with that being said, what is the best lens that you can get that offer great quality to your videos and have such a great variety for a project? Would be the Canon LC's 24-105 lens. Now, the reason I'm talking about this lens specifically is because this has such a great zoom. 24-105, your options are absolutely incredible with one lens. Going all the way down to 24, I get a nice wide shot of the venue, I get a wide shot of the dance floor. Then with a medium shot, I can go into like 50 millimeters and I can get the close-ups, the nice walking down the aisle, things like that. But I could zoom in all the way to 105 if I want to have a really blurry background, which I do when the groom and the bride are dancing. I can get a nice clean shot of them with a blurry background. It just looks so nice and so clean. It's easily adjustable, so when you are doing these big projects, this is just the perfect lens for such a big variety. Now, one downside, I can say really quick, this is a little bit darker lens, but of course, if you do have that full frame camera body, you will have a lot of that light still get through your lens. It will still be pretty great for the biggest majority of things. Especially if you're shooting outside, you have plenty of light. This lens is just absolutely perfect. So I would definitely recommend the Canon 24-105 L series lens. Now let's talk about something that can up your camera quality, especially in things like weddings or you're trying to get shots of a building like real estate, things like that. Drones. Drones are going to up your game drastically. I cannot tell you how people react when they see their home or things with a headshot of a drone. It absolutely blows their mind. So the drone I chose is the DJI Mavic Air. This is the drone I use a lot because it's super collapsible. And this is one thing I get so much from other filmmakers. Like, wow, your drone is so small. It's so small that I can fit it in my hand, fit it in my pockets, like when I'm on the go or something like that, that it's just really fast and easy to set up. But it also has such incredible 4K camera quality as well. It does have a gimbal attached, so it does give you those smooth and nice shots. The app is super easy to use. You connect your phone to the remote and you start it up, and it's just super simple to get it up in the air and get it going. Now this one is a small one, but definitely needs to be mentioned, a tripod. It is great to have a tripod because putting your stuff on books and on your tables and stuff like that, such a pain in the butt, especially when you need to get a certain angle, and it's just a pain in the butt. So to get a good tripod is just important to have in your filmmaking office. The tripod can be so various. So many people make tripods. They're more durable, they're not. Like there's not too much to a tripod. It holds your camera. But like I said, the two things you want is something with a handle. That way you can kind of control your tripod, where you're looking, to turn it, to maybe get a smooth shot going around, whatever it may be. But a tripod is just great, especially if you're doing YouTube and you need to set stuff up on the go and you're shooting in different rooms and you want to shoot outside and it's only you. That's another big thing to think about. When it's only you and you need to be in front of the camera, you need a tripod. So the only number one thing I would mention when you are looking for tripods or something like that is to make sure that it has the bubble. To make sure that your camera is level is absolutely important. So make sure that you find this little bubble inside of your tripods. That way when you do level up your tripod, you know that it is straight, it's ready, and it's set to go. So I'll link those down in the description below. I do have some cheaper ones, I do have some more expensive ones, things like that. But the bubble one is just like almost a necessity to know that your footage is clean, straight, and looking great. Now a huge thing, the part of a filmmaker that you spend more time at than you do behind any of your lights, audio, equipment, camera, things like that, your PC, your computer. Now, since computers are such big and detailed and important, I actually made a video talking about all the stuff to my PC and the specs that are needed for this kind of stuff. I'll link that video down below, so make sure you check out that video. But building a custom-built PC that can handle 4K quality and make your editing super fast and clean is important. It'll save you struggle, save you time, it'll save you pain and headaches. It's so much easier to have a nice built computer that can handle everything and just edit it all super nicely. All right, now let's talk about something that holds your camera, a camera bag. Now this camera bag I bought, I absolutely love it. It holds everything that I need it to hold and more. Like it holds my audio, it holds some of my lights, it holds my rain covers, all the stuff that I need in case something goes bad, like extra batteries, things like that. It holds it all, but it's also extremely soft. Like I've had a couple of camera bags and they rip, they tear, they break, the zipper breaks, and then your camera's falling out of your bag. It's just not trustworthy. So I would absolutely recommend this camera bag to anybody. I know this is such, again, a small thing to mention, but these things are important when it comes to bringing your stuff and showing up, looking professional, and making sure that you keep your equipment nice and clean and not broken when it comes to traveling to and from clients and making YouTube videos and putting stuff nicely away so it keeps away from dust, things like that. You just want to make sure that you take care of your equipment. Last but not least, let's talk about something that is so important. When you go out and you're doing something like filmmaking and you're doing everything, as a filmmaker, you're doing absolutely everything. You're doing the cinematography, you're doing the audio, you're doing the lighting, you're directing, you wrote the script, you're doing all this kind of stuff. You have a lot of jobs. Now, it sucks when you do and you work so hard as one person and you get all this stuff and you get this great looking footage and you put it inside of your computer and then you don't know what to do with it. You use like iMovie and that's just not good enough. You need tools that make your filmmaking up to the next game and that is clean, simple, and easy with a lot of things offered like easy installable fonts and things like that. It's good to have something that you can absolutely rely on and it's just super simple and easy to learn, but to also have so much complications and harder things inside of it that you can learn and grow and take your filmmaking to the next level. I'm of course talking about the Adobe Suite. Now I cannot recommend enough the Adobe Suite because it gives you so much more than just Premiere Pro. Now to take all your hard work footage and to throw it into the editor, into Premiere Pro and edit it, which I can say and have to say that I can't just teach you editing overnight. Like it is a hard thing, I'm still struggling with it. It's hard to portray a message that you want to do. It's a completely different skill that takes some time to learn, but to have a tool that's easily accessible, easy to download, easy to learn, I cannot recommend Premiere enough. But now on top of that, the reason I offer the Suite is because when you do get it in there and you edit your video and you do everything in Premiere Pro and you're getting ready to say upload it to YouTube, you need a picture. So you can go out and take pictures for your thumbnail, and you can bring it back to Adobe Lightroom, and you can change the color and make your picture look awesome, pop out. And maybe you want to add some text, so you can bring it over to Photoshop, add some text, maybe some margins, things like that, to really make your whole project look great on YouTube. So you have your thumbnail and a great looking video all through the Adobe Suite. But on top of all that, it's cheap to use. It's absolutely so cheap, and it's so easy to use. It just says it all for itself. So I would recommend Premiere Pro to start because it's just so awesome. They update a lot, and you have so much coming, and it's just cheap and easy. Now, I know I'm throwing all this stuff at you. I just want to make sure that you guys have the tools that I struggled so much coming up as a filmmaker. I didn't know what tools to get. I didn't know where to start. I bought all this random equipment when I was researching, and some of it broke, some of it wasn't good. But this is stuff that I have worked with at the very least over 6 months, and it has treated me so well. And this is stuff that I think will last you guys a long time if you're great with it. And I think it's stuff that's just a necessity for this filmmaking game and to make the best quality content that you can make. And again, I put so much links in the description. There's going to be a ton, but you'll see everything down there from cheap to the stuff I talked about to the expensive stuff that if you guys are looking to up or you have a budget, whatever it may be. I hope this video is just perfect for you guys. And I hope if you guys have any statements or comments or anything like that, comment down below. I will be replying to everybody. So if you have a statement like you don't like something I said, you do like something I said, comment down below and I will start a conversation with you guys. Like, let's make sure that whoever watches this video has the right resources and tools to start their business, their new career. Because that's my whole goal of this channel, is to throw out ideas, throw out thoughts, throw out what I've learned in this business, hopefully tips that can help you grow yours, things like that. If you guys do want to support me and see a ton more, you guys can go to patreon.com/Gage Horne. The link for that will be in the description, so you guys can support me, support this community, and hopefully we can grow and build our businesses to where we want it to be one day. One day. Work hard, guys. I love you all faces. We'll get there. We'll get there. Peace out.